Srimad Bhagwad Gita, Chapter 4, Sloka 21. Akriti, we will do the chanting. Nirashir Yata Chittatma Tyakta Sarva Parigraha Shariram Kevalam Karma Kurvannapnoti Kilbisham. Very good. Now Shloka 22. Yadrichala Vasantushto Dvandvatito Vimatsaraha Samah Siddha Vasiddhaucha Kritvapi Na Nibhatyate. Thank you. Now we will do the meaning part. Shloka 21. Nirashri, free from expectations. Yata, control. Chitatma, mind and intellect. Tyaktva, having abandoned. Sarva, all. Parigraha, the sense of ownership. Shariram, bodily. Kevalam, only. Karma, actions. Kurvan, performing. Na, never. Apnoti, incurs. Kilbisham, sin. So here Shri Krishna ji has said, such person who has given up all the desires and possessiveness over things and whose mind is controlled by his soul uses his body only as a tool for the actions to be performed, and this person shall never commit any sin. So that means the body is acting like a machine, you know, like the body is just acting like a machine, and it is just doing the karma or the swadharma or the primary duty. So what happens, that body doesn't incur any sin because the body has given up the desires, possessiveness, and whose mind is controlled by the soul. So such body's mind is controlled by the soul. So when the soul controls the body and the mind, then that body doesn't incur any sin. Able to understand? So that body is just a tool or a machine which is just doing the karma or the primary duty or swadharma. So basically Sri Krishna ji is trying to make us understand to we should train ourselves in such a way that we are not expecting anything, we are controlling our desires. We can slowly control our desires. It is not that today you have learned and from next after the class you don't have any desires. It is not that way. We are so much habituated, so we need to train ourselves slowly and gradually. We can come out of that we have controlled desires, then step by step within few days the desires, you will see that you don't have any desires. Why you don't have any desires? That is the cravings, I want, everything will be nullified. No, you are happy with what you have and somebody asks you what you want, you will be like blank. You'll say, okay, do I need something? So you will be blank and you will say, I don't want anything. So that time you have trained yourself completely, that you have controlled your desires. Able to understand? So that comes gradually and slowly. It is not any, there is no any magic wand or abracadabra. Even Sri Krishna ji says that no, everything will happen, but slowly and gradually you need to train yourself. So how do we train ourselves? Keep telling yourself, no, control desires. Suppose you get the craving or you want something, so you need to ask yourself, do you really need it? Is it really required? Without this, will the life will stop. So when you get the answer, no, it is not required, without this also I can lead my life, then that is a desire. So you don't want that. So if you practice this, then slowly and gradually your desires will be controlled. And possessiveness over the things. Everyone has some favorite things, right? Like you are, Akriti is a small kid. So favorite toy, favorite bag, favorite pouch. And for us, something more beyond that. And that possessiveness is there. And when you give that to someone which is your favorite, then you have overcome your possessiveness. Like I like plants. So when I give plants to someone else, I am coming out of that possessiveness. I am sharing that with others. So I am trying to come out of that possessiveness. Okay, this is my plant. I am still giving it to someone else. So this is the way you should come out of that minus, possessiveness. We should not have any possessiveness. We should be okay, fine. And when you can give something which is very dear to you to someone else, that's the best thing. It's very difficult to give. So this is the way Sri Krishna ji is telling that we need to come out of our desires and the possessiveness. We should start training ourselves, and we have to train ourselves throughout our life because we are humans. Suddenly we will change. If we don't train, then the senses are so strong, they will get a click that okay, this body is not training the mind and the intellect, that come out of the desire and possessiveness. Chalo, attack to the mind and intellect and influence and grab it. So that is why chanting is important. Keep chanting daily. When you chant, what happens? You are remembering Sri Krishna ji. When you remember Sri Krishna ji will remember you and he will take care of you. Understood? That is why chanting is very important. So when we chant, we have the grace of Sri Krishna ji and he help us to be in his path, what he has showed us. So now who is going to say? Akriti?
Yes, ma'am. So Lord Krishna is telling again and again to how to come out of your possessiveness. What's that word, ma'am?
Possessiveness.
Possessiveness. He's telling again and again how to come out of that. We should share our things, even if it's all done. It's our favorite, like snowy. We should still share it.
Yeah.
And we should always remember Shri Krishna and chant the Sloka.
I hope you remember that. Thank you. Ritu Babi?
In this shloka, Krishna ji is saying that those people who have left the desires for the results of their action, they use their body only to only to perform those actions which will help them to achieve Sri Krishna ji. So he's saying we should not have a attachment to the results of our actions, and we should only focus on the actions.
Thank you. Siddhant, Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna, ma'am. So here, Lord Shri Krishna is telling us that we should train our mind to, so not to show possessiveness, and also to not expect anything or have any desires. So yeah, Lord Shri Krishna also says that. I think he says that it will also uh, will be gradual. It won't happen like instantly. It will happen gradually. It will, your desires will slowly fade away as you remember Lord Shri Krishna and chant his shlokas.
Thank you so much. Dhriti is explaining. In, in this shloka, it is being told that in the body, the soul of a body who controls the mind and the senses, that body does not incur any sin, and that body is acting just like a tool and doing his karma. And Sri Krishna also told that we must control our senses and desires gradually, and control our senses and let the soul control our body and mind.
that shloka, Lord Shri Krishna says to, like if a person is being controlled by the mind and not the senses, then that person is, then that person has no desire, and that person is क्या बोला? And then that person is like doing his karma, so he is in the path of devotion. Lord Shri Krishna also says that if we should try to not to have desires and control our body.
Thank you. Now we are doing meaning of Shloka 22. Yatricha, which comes of its own accord, labha, gain, santushtha, contented, dvadva, duality, atita, surpassed, vimatsaraha, free from envy, samaha, equipoised, siddhau, in success, asiddhau, failure, cha, and kritva, performing, api, even, na, never, nibhadyate, is bound. Now Shri Krishna ji has said, content with whatever gain or loss comes on their way and free from envy, they are beyond the dualities of life. Being equanimous in success and failure, they are not bound by their actions, even while performing all kinds of activities. So now Shri Krishna ji has created this universe with dual nature. If you think that everything there is a dual nature, sun, moon, na? Dark, brightness, hot, cold. So in the entire universe, in this entire universe, everything is made up of duality. Man, woman, right? So Sri Krishna ji has you said that dualities of life. Because the life is full of dualities. There are plus point and minus points. So there is a balance. Sri Krishna ji has created this universe with negativity plus positivity, and both goes parallelly. Okay, we'll come back to this shloka. Just like there are two sides of a coin, so too God created this world full of dualities. And there is day and night, sweet and sour, hot and cold, rain and drought, and many more things. The same rose bush has a beautiful flower and also an ugly thorn. Life too brings its share of dualities. So how do life gives us dualities? Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. Sometimes you win a competition, sometimes you lose it. Sometimes you get praise for your work, and sometimes you don't get a praise, and people will find some fault in your work. So it is very common. So what Sri Krishna ji is saying that we should learn to accept it. When you accept your success, you should also accept your failure. That is what Sri Krishna ji is trying to say. That life is full of dualities, you should learn to accept it, and the person who is beyond this, who the person who is beyond this is a sage. Akriti, you are sleeping. It's a sleeping time for you?
It's 7:12.
Okay, I'll just finish it quickly, okay? Then you can go and have a sleep. So while living in this world, nobody can hope to neutralize the dualities to have only positive experience. Then how can we successfully deal with the dualities that come in our life? The solution is to take these dualities in stride by learning to rise above them in equipoise in all the situations. Now we should be able to accept it, whatever comes our way. It is not that every time we will get success, or every time a person will be a winner, or every time a person will get only happiness. So everything comes by no phase, like no, if there is a happiness, there will be some sorrow or sadness. So we should accept it. So what? How do we accept it? You have to be neutral. One person has to be neutral and don't overreact. That is called acceptance. And don't become very sad and don't become very angry or irritated or frustrated. It's fine. You should always believe that okay, this is a phase, it will just pass off and something good is going to come after this. So this is what Sri Krishna ji is saying, that life is full of dualities and you need to learn to deal it, and you have to be equanimous in all the positions, in all the situations. Correct? So this is what Sri Krishna ji is trying to say, and we should learn to do it. It's very difficult, but still we can train ourselves. When something bad comes, obviously a body will react. So what we can do, that we can train our body and mind and senses and intellect. It's totally fine, no problem. Something good is going to come. है ना? I need to accept it and smile and be happy. Understood? Okay, Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. So here, Lord Shri Krishna says there in life there's ups and downs, the dualities. So, for example, I'm gonna try making my own example. Like, for example, a hill. In a hill, there's always going to be an upside and a downside. So, say that's it's same like with life, which has multiple ups and downs. Here, Lord Shri Krishna is saying that we have to stay neutral through those ups and downs. So he's saying it might be hard for us to contain our reactions because the body will react to something. Let's say if something bad has happened, it will want to react with super sad or angry. So we have to learn to control those emotions and stay neutral through whatever phase comes next.
Thank you. Very good. Nice. Rupashri ma'am. Shri
Shri
Krishna.
Krishna, ma'am.
Shri Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. In this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is trying to explain the dualities of his creation. Like there is day and night, and there is there is success and failure. There is everything. There is a positive and a negative side to it. So everything is like a phase. So we need to have an equanimous mind to accept it. It gets really hard, but you need to practice to do that. We shouldn't get frustrated, angry, or if it's a bad phase, we need to calm down and think over and accept it that this phase will pass and there will be a new phase which can be more better than this. So Lord Shri Krishna is trying to highlight that there can be two sides. It's like having two sides of a coin. There can be two different things. We shouldn't get carried away either by the positive side or by the negative side of life. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Ritu Bhavi.
This shloka, Krishnaji talks about the duality of every creation that he has created, and he says that they are like this two sides of the same coin. So just like there is day and night, even success and failure are the two sides of the same coin. So he's saying we should take both in an equal manner, and a person who has this knowledge that everything is dual, so one after the other it will come. For if today you have failed, maybe tomorrow you will succeed. So a person who thinks like that, he will not be affected by failures, and neither will he be too elevated by success. He will always stay in an equanimous position.
Thank you. Akriti.
Yes, ma'am. So this shloka, Sri Krishna is telling that he's talking about divorce. Then there will be a lot of duality in our life. Okay, I don't know how to say that word. There will be
Dual.
a
See, it is dual. Say dual.
dual
Dualities.
dualities.
Huh.
Okay, duality. There will be a lot of dualities in our life, but we need to accept it. We can't just magically make it all go away. So
We sometimes might be sad, we sometimes might be happy. One day we might flourish and one day we might lose it. But we need to accept it.
Correct. Thank you.